So the other day I was walking in Alvera Street and I see this homie. I don't know him, big, huge vato with gang of tattoos, and he's walking there with his lady. And he has this t-shirt, and I know you've seen this t-shirt before, and it says, "Only God can judge me." And which means, you know, you can't judge me and don't be judging me, is basically saying that. As I walked past him, I thought, yeah, and the truth is God has no interest in judging you. And I think that's the truth, because I believe in a God who's too busy loving you to have any time left to judge you. A God too busy loving you to ever be disappointed in you. Doesn't know what we're talking about. And so, you know, we talk about this place as non-judgmental, and that's a good thing. And if you talk about somebody as judgmental, that's kind of a bad thing. But the holiest person you know does not judge. So are we suggesting that God is not as holy as the holiest person we know? That God has some interest in judging us? I don't think so. And you're going to say, oh yeah, well how about Judgment Day, the goats and the sheep? And I go, yeah, you know, we're human, I judge you, you judge me, and because we are human, we project onto God, we create God in our own image. He must be a judge, because that's what we do for a living. So on July 5, it was a Saturday, I did a baptism in a backyard, and a big, huge gathering of people. And a woman came up to me and she said, and I'd never met her, and she goes, I got to tell you something that happened to me on July 3. Well, I work downtown, and I'm taking the train, and onto the train comes this gang member. A lot of tattoos on his head, and I watched everybody move away. Women were kind of, mothers were clutching their kids more closely. People were actually moving to another car. And I went and I sat down next to him for one reason, because he was wearing a Homeboy t-shirt. And I introduced myself, I said, I love Homeboy. And I said, do you work there? And he said, yes, but I was really surprised how he described Homeboy. He didn't talk about it like it was a job. He said, I have been able to rebuild my life there. And he said things like, repair my dream and restore my hope. I was surprised by that, she said. And we talked for a long time. He was very funny and very smart, and gave me good advice, because I asked him about my son, who's 21 years old, and we don't have a great relationship. I suppose I judge him harshly and too quick to express my disappointment in him. So on 4th of July, I went on a 5-mile hike with my son, and I'll be honest with you, she says, the first 4 miles did not go well, because I was just harping on him and nagging and disappointed and judging him. And when I got to the 5th mile, I stopped in my head and I said, what would the guy on the train, I want to channel the guy on the train, she said. And then I asked myself, what would Joshua say? And that's how I discovered that the guy on the train was Joshua. And I said, I know that guy. And she said, I asked myself, what would Joshua say? And the last mile was this amazing moment where I listened to him and he listened to me. And I didn't have any time left to be disappointed or to judge him anymore. I just loved him. And it was the most amazing mile I've ever walked with my son. So thank you for representing Homeboy so well.
That's right.
But above all, thank you for modeling what kind of God we have, who's too busy loving us to be disappointed in us. Yeah, I suppose only God can judge me. But the truth is, he has no interest in doing it. He doesn't have the time.